So one of the little screws that holds on this index plate, it's stripped out. And these screws are $4.40, and I just got the helicoil kit. Yeah, these are real tiny little ones. And I like this brand better because the installation tool is metal. The helicoil brand one is plastic, and after you put about half the inserts in, it breaks. Yeah, and these are made in Australia. Okay, and I already put the helicoil in here. One of these little screws. And I have a brand new index plate that's going to go on here. And I also took and fixed the two that were stripped out on this. Yeah, I just got the new shaft to replace that one that's bent. $355 for that shaft. If I had another lathe, I could have made one. And I'd have to have a milling machine to do the slots. Yeah, I got that shaft back, and now everything works a lot easier. And now I just got to put the other one back in, those two levers on there. Yeah, I finally got the quick change gearbox done. Yeah, now I guess I'll move on to the headstock. So it looks like it's pretty easy to take the headstock off. There's just this one bolt in here, and there's one on the other side. After you there's a little cover that covers that one up on the other side. And you also have to get this belt off here. Yeah, I got the headstock off and partially apart. I ended up just cutting the belt off because I'm going to replace it anyways. Because it would be a bit difficult to take all this apart to get that out of there. So I got the main piece of the headstock all cleaned up. And you want to make sure you take these pipe plugs out and clean in there when you do this. So now I'm going to start cleaning each piece up and putting it back. And when I took the spindle out, I laid these two caps and all the shims the way they go here. Yeah, and how I'm cleaning the insides of this stuff out is with these kind of brushes. Yeah, there's this little tool you can buy, and what that does is greases the back gear, and it also greases this main, it's got a plug that comes out of it too. Yeah, then to take the spindle apart, you have to press this gear off. Okay, so I got that gear pressed back on there, and on these bearings, they got a letter F on them for the front. So now I'm ready to clean this rest of the stuff up and put it back on. Yeah, I got the headstock back together. This is about the only thing that went easy. The only thing I found that was bad is these reverse gears. The threads are bad. I got two more of these pieces coming. But other than that, I didn't really have to put much money into this. The rest of the stuff on it, everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong. Yeah, I just cut this piece out that the motor attaches to. Yeah, this I just need to clean up and replace the two bearings on it. Yeah, I got the two bearings out of there. Yeah, it wasn't easy to get that pulley off. Yeah, I don't think I need to remove this center pulley, because I'm just going to replace the two bearings and clean this up, and that's about it. Okay, so to adjust these cam lock spindles, what you want to do is, when this little line on here, I don't know if you can see it, is at the 12 o'clock position, that's where you can take the chuck off. When it's tight, the chuck's on there and it's tightened down, it should be between 3 and 6 o'clock. And all you do to do that is you take these set screws out and adjust these pins in or out until it's like that. Yeah, I got the rest of it all cleaned up and I got the headstock back on. And now I'll put the quick change gearbox back on it. And what I've been using to clean the big stuff is this purple powder. It seems to work pretty good. The small parts I'm just putting in the parts washer. Yeah, I got the quick change gearbox back on it. And a few other things. And I've got the bearings coming for this piece. They're an oddball size. And I just got these two pieces to fix the reverse bracket, I guess you call that, the lead screw. Yeah, the biggest problem I have here is I just don't have room to tear the whole thing apart and set all the parts somewhere. That's why I've done a little bit of it at a time. As you can see, I got a mess here. Yeah, and somebody on YouTube keeps asking me about this bending brake. Yeah, I made this a long time ago. I didn't make a video on it. And the hinges are just 5/8 grade 8 bolts that I ground the corner up this angle iron and I TIG welded it on there. And in these pieces here, there's a spring in there. So when you loosen this bolt up, this piece raises up. And I made this part where it comes off, so if you have to bend something in close, you can do it. So now I'm working on this piece for the forward and reverse to the lead screw. There's actually quite a bit to this. You got to drill this plug out because there's a piece of felt that goes all the way through here. Then it's got to be tapped and a set screw goes in here instead. Yeah, I just got the lead screw forward and reverse bracket back together and on here. Yeah, so I just got these bearings for the underdrive. And this is an odd size, and I went to a bearing place and they told me they couldn't even get them. And the only thing it says on the original ones is new departure 026. So I just typed in on the internet South Bend 13 underdrive bearings, and somebody on Practical Machinist put that the part number is 88026. So then it came up on eBay, some new old stock, new departure ones for $15 a piece. Yeah, so I also got this tool. I'm going to use it to align the tailstock. Somebody on eBay makes these. And then you also have to buy a blank Morse tape or arbor. Yeah, so you just get this tool on here like this, and then you're going to turn it around the other way, and then you can adjust the tailstock to get it aligned right. Yeah, I got the underdrive done and ready to go back in. Now it's got new bearings in it. And to grease this thing, I used a grease gun for the sprocket tip on a chainsaw, and I got grease in there. Yeah, I just got the underdrive part back in it. Yeah, it looks like I just got something from Enco with their 15% off. Yeah, and this is what this actually is the keyway brooches. And these are not the cheap ones, these are the good American made ones. And here's the real small set. Yeah, I also just got this dial indicator. And it only goes, one revolution on the dial is 50 thousandths. Most of them are 100 thousandths or a lot less. This is the first one I've seen like this. Yeah, I got a 25 off from Enco, so I bought a few more things. And I got the great big Noga magnetic base, and I got the real tiny one. And I got all these countersinks. Yeah, so I just got the motor. Go check out Rick BLH's channel. He has a 13-inch South Bend lathe that he did up real nice. And he also made a video for me about what he did with the motor on his, and I'm doing the same thing. And when I tried to buy the motor locally, they wanted $1,000 for it. And then he gave me the information off of his, and I was able to get this for $345 shipped. And here's the information on it. Those big numbers at the top are the model numbers. And it's a 2 horsepower single phase motor. And I also bought the switch. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Yeah, I got the motor and the pulley on it. I got to still go buy all the belts. The pulley, the outside diameter is 2.5 inches and the shaft size is 7/8. And both the motor and the pulley came from this place, and they were on eBay. Yeah, and I just got these two belts on. These belts are a 1/2 inch wide and 44 inches long. Yeah, so then what I did is I took and mounted that electrical box right to the back side of it. Originally this panel down here with all these relays went on there. And then I ran that flexible conduit from the motor. And what I did on the motor is I took this box off and flipped it upside down to where this hole's facing the opposite way. And I ran that flexible conduit up here to that electrical box. Then from there it's going to run up to the switch. Yeah, I don't think this drum switch is the right one for the lathe, so I'm going to use this on the drill press instead. Then I'll order another one. The one I need, I think, jumpers it out in a different order. Yeah, I also just got this tool post grinder on eBay. Yeah, I only paid $185 for it shipped. And I just put a new cord on it. That was just an extension cord that I cut up and did that with. Yeah, I just got the main belt for my lathe. And it comes from a guy named Albino. And it's rubber and nylon, and it comes with 2 different types of glue. Okay, I got it on there and I got it glued. Now you're supposed to leave this clamp together for 24 hours. And I used a piece of 1.5 inch flat bar to clamp this together. That's best because that's the same width as the belt, and then you can get it lined up perfectly. Yeah, so I just got another one of these drum switches. So now I can make the bracket that's going to go on here for it to mount on it. And I also got this 7 to 8 inch micrometer. The 6 to 7 inch one's still coming. And I bought a new belt for this tool post grinder. And it uses 2 different belts. This is the shorter one of the 2. And this company has an $85 minimum, so that this belt only costs $33, but they won't sell it to you. So then they tell you to go through MSC, and MSC charges $59 for the belt with shipping and tax, and this costs $76 just for this little belt. And all the ones that it came, or 2 of the other ones that it came with have been sitting around so long it's just real hard. They're going to break. Yeah, so I had this piece of 1/4 inch aluminum plate, and that's what I made the bracket out of for the switch. Yeah, and this bracket here, I drilled and tapped that hole. So there's 3 bolts that hold it on instead of just 2. Okay, so I got it mounted on there. So now I need to run more of this flexible conduit. I just put that on temporary to see if I can make how sharp I can make that bend. But I've got more of it, and I'll run it down to that box and run the wires up here. So I just got this flexible conduit on here. Yeah, and the reason I put tape around that box is just to keep metal shavings out of the cracks. So now I'm ready to wire it. And how this gets wired, before I hooked those wires up to the motor, I wrote down what the numbers are in different colors. And on Baldor's website it shows that this J wire just goes to that thermal overload switch. So that wire you don't use, it just gets capped off. And then how I do it is I wrote down wrote down where all the wires go on the switch, and then I looked it over and saw how the switch works to make sure I wired this right. And here's the label on the motor. And it's really not that hard to do. And the 5 and the 8 wire, you should leave it long and hook it up temporary just to make sure this is the switch, it works the right direction. If it's backwards, all you have to do is reverse those 2 wires. Yeah, I just got it wired and it works. Yeah, I just got the 6 to 7 inch micrometer. And I got these Brown and Sharp telescoping gauges. I have another set of these ones that go up much bigger. And I also got one of these Uniburr things. And this is the better model that lasts a lot longer. Yeah, I found a much better LED light at Home Depot here. This is a 3-foot one. And they sell for, I think, $34.99. Yeah, and it's way brighter than that one that I had there. And I had to drill out 2 pop rivets from each end and then put screws through there because it's made to be hung by chains. And then once I put the screws through there, then I put pop rivets back in it again. And then you can mount it up here like this. Yeah, I found these on Craigslist today and I just had to buy them. Yeah, and these micrometers are all in a real good shape, and it also comes with all these pieces, and it goes from up to 6 inches. And these are actually made by Starrett. I guess they were made for Craftsman because it says Craftsman on every one of these. Yeah, I also just got this, and what this is the middle section to a toolbox. And what I'm going to do is when I build a cart that goes under this lathe, I'm going to mount it in between the legs. So I got more room to put all the tooling. And that's about the only thing I could find that would fit in there. It's still going to leave a little bit of space on top. Yeah, I just got these 2 micrometers off of eBay. These are inside groove micrometers. And the model number is 701A and 701B. Yeah, you don't see these on eBay very often. Sometimes people put them on there with a real high buy it now price. Yeah, I just got these on Craigslist. Yeah, I didn't have any calipers and micrometers or digital. I'd also do inches and millimeters. Yeah, I just got this on eBay. And underneath this foam, I found the receipt from when somebody else bought this on layaway from a pawn shop 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the right case for this. Yeah, I just got this Bison 5C collet chuck off of eBay. And this is used, but it's in real good shape. Now I just got to buy some collets for it. Yeah, I just got these 5C collets off of eBay. And there's a few of these kind that expand. And it even has this thing that goes in the bottom so the stuff you stick in the collets can only go in there so far. And it's adjustable. And it's got 1 collet like that. 2 that are like that. And yeah, I'm going to clean all these up. Yeah, I just got a bunch more collets off of eBay. And these are just cheap collets. Yeah, I just got this collet rack I'm going to put together, and I'm going to make some brackets where I can mount it on the wall. Yeah, so what the problem was with this rack is these 2 pieces, there's a piece on the inside and outside, they were made exactly the same, so when you put the 2 pieces together, the holes don't line up exactly right. They're off just a little tiny bit. So what I did is on one half of this, I bent this back flat, then bent it the other opposite way. And then when you put the 2 pieces together, the holes line up perfectly, and then I welded it all together. And then I'm going to put brackets across the bottom so I can mount this to the wall. Yeah, so I got it mounted to the wall. Now I just need to take it off, finish welding it, and paint it. And I'm also going to write the numbers on there for each size of the collets. And the easiest way to do this is to mount those 3 brackets to the wall level first. Hold this rack up to it with a level on it and get it straight, and then tack weld it and take it off and finish welding it. And this thing for the ground, I made this, I just got one of these magnetic grounds and then made this piece to go on here for when I got something like this and there's no place to clamp it to, and that works. And this is what it looks like on the wall with the collets in it. I don't have all the collets yet. And this will be down near the tailstock section of the lathe. There's more room there, that's why I put it on this end. Yeah, I just got a bunch more 5C collets. And I also got these micrometers at an online auction. The Minatoyo one goes from 6 to 12 inches. And the Starrett one goes from 12 to 16. Yeah, it is missing the one standard. Yeah, I finally found one of these radius cutters at a cheap price. It's a model 4D. And normally these sell for about $1,250 new. Yeah, I just got these expanding mandrels. And the larger size ones have 2 bushings that go on here. And Bar Z Industrial, he makes a video on them. And I also got one of the spanner wrench for the collet nut. And this all came from this place, HH Industrial Products. Yeah, I also got a few more of these expanding collets. The other 2 collets that I didn't have yet, and some of these 7 of these hexagon ones. Yeah, I just got another one of these radius tools. This one's in a lot better shape. Yeah, it looks like it originally came from Enco. The only thing that's screwed up on this one, which doesn't affect it, is somebody ground on this piece. That last one that I had, somebody machined about 1/8 of an inch off of this part, the main frame, and I messaged the guy and he said that's the way it was when he got it 2 years ago and no refund, but you could clearly see in the picture that it wasn't like that. That guy must have bought the thing, screwed it up, and relisted it with the original picture. So now I messaged him again. I said, I'm going to come to your house and you're going to give me a refund. Then he agreed to take it back. I sent it back to him. 8 days after he got it, I messaged him twice, never got the refund. And then I contacted eBay and got the money back immediately. Yeah, that guy was a crook. Yeah, I just got some of these Starrett gauges for measuring small holes up. Yeah, Bar Z Industrial showed that in one of his videos. Yeah, I just got a few more tools. Some of the tools I'm going to show in this video aren't lathe related. Yeah, and these sockets are made by Gear Wrench. And these are the SAE ones. I showed the there's swivel sockets. I showed the metric ones in the other video. And I got these pliers. They're for taking those spring hose clamps off. And you can bend this around in any different way to get to it. I also got some new coveralls. Yeah, when they stand up, when I take them off, it's time to replace them. And it sure seems like UPS is getting here later every single day. They just came here at 9 p.m. Yeah, I also just got one of these plate lifting clamps from Northern Tool. It just works like this. And this one's supposed to pick up 2,000 pounds. Yeah, I just got this 20-ton air-over hydraulic bottle jack at Harbor Freight. It was on sale for $89. And the item number is 69593. And I'll probably weld this handle together. Yeah, and I always weld these handles together. And I also cut the slot in the other end. Then it fits on here right. When they put it in the big end, it doesn't even fit on here unless you hold it exactly in the center. Yeah, after watching one of Adam Booth's videos, I decided to get the stool reupholstered. Yeah, I had this done in leather. It cost twice as much as buying a new one of these, but originally it's just got plastic upholstery, so any sparks hit it, it cracks immediately. Yeah, I don't have a milling machine yet, so I got somebody to make me this T-nut for this radius tool. So now it fits on there right. Yeah, I just got this piece that raises and lowers the table on the drill press off of eBay, but there is a couple pieces that are worn out on it. This gear, the Acme part of the threads on the inside are worn out, and this one shaft. So I'm going to see if I can get another one of those, and then I'll put that together. And I also just got this 60-degree dovetail cutter and the scribe. And this is from somebody on YouTube called Randy Richards in the shop. You can look him up. He sells these. And the scribe comes apart. Yeah, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. And it turns around like that. Yeah, I just got the new gear and the shaft. This little tiny gear and the shaft cost $212. Yeah, that is just ridiculous. Yeah, here's what the drill press looks like with that height adjuster on there. Yeah, it works pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to end this lathe video here, and I'll make another video to show the rest of the tooling I'm going to buy and the cart that I'm going to build that's going to go under it. Some people have said not to do that, but I'm going to make it perfectly flat where it won't flex at all, so it shouldn't matter. And the next part of the video will be filmed with a real video camera. With this video camera, I can't zoom out far enough. That's why everything seems so close up. There's no place for me to stand back far enough.